Before jumping into today's vlog, I just want to say thanks to everybody who's been leaving comments and suggestions of places, cities, and venues that my band should come and play in May in the UK and Europe. I really appreciate it. I want to come to those places, but please, please, please let the booking agent know. I'll put a link below this video as well. Please let the guys at Good Music Company know, because they're the ones who will be setting up the tour, not me, and it'll help us all to just know where the people are that want to hear our music. Thanks. Hello? Anybody here? Hello? Oh, hello? Hello? Oh. One of my good friends is moving to town this week, but they're not here yet, and they're having some furniture delivered today, so I'm here to just wait for the furniture delivery people. This house is huge, but it's also freezing. 46 degrees, what the? I wish I had some roller skates. Anyway, while I'm here killing time, I thought I'd take a moment and answer this question that James sent in. It's about odd meters. Hi Bob, had some odd meter composition questions for you. Are there any albums that you recommend in terms of listening to for inspiration for odd meters? How did you become comfortable playing in odd meters? I'm not sure that I totally am, but was it covered extensively at Berklee College of Music, or did you learn more from transcriptions or playing with others? I'm getting really sick of writing in 4, 3, and 6. Whenever I try to write something in an odd meter, it just feels like I'm trying to be complex for the sake of it, and I end up scrapping the composition. I'm a big Snarky Puppy fan, but I've always found it really hard to transcribe their meters. They seem to hide the downbeat a lot. A lot in there. Let's try to unpack that. All right, I think let's come back to the part about the albums for inspiration. I have a lot of albums that inspired me in terms of the odd meter thing, and actually I'm gonna make a playlist in Spotify of them, which I'll share below. I'll probably end up deleting it at some point, so maybe just copy the songs to your own playlist. All right, as far as like Snarky Puppy or anybody who you feel like they're hiding the downbeat, just remember that it doesn't have to be an odd meter to feel asymmetrical maybe. So consider something that's in 4/4 where the downbeat is happening on beat 4, not the downbeat, but like there's a chord happening on beat 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. You know, that doesn't mean all of a sudden that you have a time signature that's 3 and 5. It's still 4/4, but depending on where notes land, you know, that can obscure where the actual 1 or the actual downbeat is. Second thing, as far as getting sick of writing tunes in 4 and 3 and 6, I hear you, and I think it's a totally valid thing to experiment in writing in odd times to get, you know, some experience with it, get some comfort with it. In fact, the first song that I ever wrote in an odd time signature was called Hidden Agenda. It's in 7. It's only on my Bandcamp page because it's from my college EP. It's like a 4-song record I made in college. The song's called Hidden Agenda. The reason I wrote that was to try to get comfortable with playing in 7. So the bass figure, it's just like boom, boom, bum, ba doo dee, 1, dum, dum, ba doo dee. Probably can't hear it. Boom, boom, bum, ba doo dee. 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At that time in my life, to me playing in 3/4 felt odd. I really couldn't play in 7, and every time I'd play sessions with people where they'd be like, oh, let's play All the Things You Are, but in 7, I was finding myself in situations where the drummers that I was playing with they were already so comfortable with odd meters that they were obscuring the downbeat, and I was just lost. So I needed to write something that helped anchor me in the clave, for lack of a better term, of that meter. So what I mean when I say clave is just like something that's a rhythmic figure that I can hold on to that's not counting. So instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I'm going bum, 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 bum. And I can sort of then base my lines around that anchor. Oh, guest house. You know, I would write songs, that may have been the only song that I wrote specifically to say I need to write something in an odd meter so I can figure it out. The other songs that I've written personally, and I'll include them in the playlist, there have been things in, let's see, 7, 5, 7, 11, 9, 15. I don't think I did one in 13 yet. That being said, always consider how many amazing songs have been written in 4/4 and 3/4 and 6/8. Something I'm always thinking of is, God, how many amazing songs were not only written in 4/4 but in a 32 bar format, you know, the Great American Songbook type thing, AABA or ABAC, or a 12 bar blues or a 16 bar frame. I think of that as a challenge to myself, like what can I do within those structures? As far as how did I become comfortable, I didn't take a class at Berklee College of Music in odd meter playing, that's for sure. It was playing with other musicians, with my peers, like actually playing in those meters. Any comfort I have is from repetition, just the same way you get comfortable in playing, you know, in 4/4 by playing in it, or 3/4 by playing in it. It wasn't from doing transcriptions, you know, like doing them and writing them out or reading them. There were certainly things that I was playing along with, or maybe transcribing phrases. Like I remember transcribing certain parts of Joshua Redman on his arrangement of Summertime from Timeless Tales for Changing Times. That's in 7. There's a song on Beyond called Courage, Asymmetric Aria, that's in 13. You know, playing along with recordings is one way to do it, a great way to do it. Probably the best way to do it if you don't have the good fortune or luxury of having some talented musicians to work on those time signatures with, you know, to jam with, to play with. So yeah, on this playlist, I'll put a few songs of mine. They're no particular order here, and then a bunch of songs that were influential to me in odd meter stuff. Some of my favorite ones come from pop, the world of pop music. So yeah, like I just mentioned, there's this Joshua Redman song. It's an arrangement of Summertime, the standard Summertime by Josh Redman. The album Timeless Tales for Changing Times, and that's in 7. Super killing. One of the things I really like about that track is, I mean, Brad Meldau's solo is in 7. It's amazing. Josh plays a little bit in 7, and then it goes into a super swing in 4. Yeah, okay, another one. This song is called Courage, Asymmetric Aria. This is from his album Beyond. Listen to the bass line. Almost all of my compositions that are in odd meters have some sort of bass figure that anchors it. If you listen to this Courage Asymmetric Aria, the bass line's going like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 13, but you're not gonna count 13, but if you can kind of think of the boom, boom, bee, 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 ba, doo, bo, bee, bee, then listen to the way that Josh and Aaron Goldberg play over this song and keep that little ostinato in mind and hear how it anchors their phrasing. Now here's a song from Chris Potter that's also in 13, but is structured differently. This one comes from his album Gratitude, fantastic album with Scott Colley on bass, Brian Blade on drums, and Kevin Hayes on piano. This one's called High Noon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as Josh's tune was like a 13/8 that had a 7 and a 6, like 7/8, 6/8, and this is like 4/4, 4/4, 5/4. So, you know, listen to it and listen to the way that informs the phrasing of the melody and of the improvisations. Another one by Potter that's awesome. If you don't have the Traveling Mercies album, I highly recommend that. Incredible and very underrated album in my opinion. There's a song called Megalopolis. I actually played this with somebody's band before. They had a chart. I don't remember what time signature this in. It's in like a compound meter of a few different signatures, but listen to the melody. Just listening to it, play that melody. Don't even worry about the soloing part. The melody just flows. I don't even know what time signature that's in, but the melody flows so brilliantly through it, it makes perfect sense. Let's get to some of the pop ones now. I've got other stuff on here, like from Dave Holland's Quintet is a great example of almost everything they played was in odd meters. The one with Potter and Steve Nelson and Billy Kilson. Ooh, this is an Aaron Parks one, the piano player Aaron Parks, called Nemesis. This is 7 and it's like jazz rock. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 7 with a backbeat. That's Eric Harland on drums. Both of those guys are also on my album, Somewhere in Between. We did Creep, the Radiohead tune Creep, and that's in 7. This is also, here's Aaron Parks and Harland again. It's hard to hear out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Boom, There's a song of mine called First Steps. That's 11. It's 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that one, I remember walking down a street in Manhattan before the kind of phones we have now. I used my cell phone to call my home phone voicemail and leave this message where I just was like boom, 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 boom. I wasn't even thinking about time signatures. It wasn't until I got home and listened to that message that I figured out it was, oh my gosh, that's technically in 11. There's a song of mine called Common Ground. This is 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, here's a classic pop song, which by Led Zeppelin called The Ocean, which I recently put something up where I was playing Cherokee in 15 and kind of mixing it with the ocean. Listen to this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But one way that I think of this is just, it's like 2 big measures of 4 with the tail end chopped off. And I think about that for like my song Common Ground as well. So it's, instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I'm just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So you're just chopping like an 8th note off the end of the second measure of 4. One of my favorites is Sting, and an album that was very important to me is called 10 Sumner's Tales. This was a huge album for me and sort of getting me out of my jazz snob period in high school and into pop music, and this album was one of the things that did that for me. Key into the bass line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a few on that album actually, on this Sting album. Yeah, this track, St. Augustine in Hell, also in 7. Also on 10 Sumner's Tales, the beautiful song 7 Days. It's called 7 Days, but I believe it's track 6, and it's in 5/4. See what you did there? 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 6, 5, 4. 4, 5. 4, 5. 4, 5. I mean, just hearing him sing the melody over 5, that's a masterclass in itself to me in phrasing. There's also a lot of great stuff on the Soundgarden album Superunknown. This song, My Wave, is it like a rockin' 5/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For me, listening to the pop music stuff that was in odd meters really helped me get a sense and a feel for the pocket of those odd meters. A good one to end on maybe is, this isn't technically an odd meter, but Radiohead, who I'm a huge fan of, they have a song on the Amnesiac record called Pyramid Song. Pyramid Song is kind of fun because it's like a rhythmic palindrome. What you're gonna hear is like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Google Pyramid Song time signature. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'll put the playlist to this Spotify list below this video. Depending on when you see this video in the future, that playlist may be deleted, so my apologies in advance if I delete it intentionally or accidentally, but that's just a few selections of odd meter inspiration and thoughts on odd meter. I hope that's helpful. See you in the next one. Oh, and Merry Christmas.